2 hours a week. That's it. That's all I do. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 35 to 40 minutes. And most people hear that and they think, that cannot be it. There must be more. For our body, 50, 51 to stay in top shape, there must be more. But there isn't. And the people who spend 60, 90 minutes every day into the gym, they're not actually doing more good to their bodies. They're probably doing more harm, especially after 40 and 50, because the body needs more rest than it needs training at this time. But before I go too far, this is not a fitness video. I said in the first video of the series Longevity, which this is the third video of, I said that I'm going to cover all the aspects of my longevity approach, which is mindset, training, nutrition, and supplementation. This video covers the training angle. This video is just for completeness. It covers what I actually do, and more importantly, why it works. And it's not just reps and sets. It goes much deeper than that. So let's dive in. Let me get right to it and go through what I do quickly. I train 3 times per week, as I said in the beginning of this video, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do full body workouts every session. I train fasted. By the time I train, I usually have had 12 to 14 hours of fast because my last meal was the night before, and usually I train at noon the next day. I do circuit training format. I do 1 set per muscle group, then I move to the next muscle group and the next, and then I repeat. I do 3 circuit sessions per workout. What that means is that I only do 3 sets per muscle group, and that's all. I do high intensity interval training every session. I usually follow the Tabata protocol, which is 4 minutes. My typical high intensity interval training is sprints. I used to do sprints out on the street, but over the years that changed, and now lately I've been doing high intensity interval training sprints specifically on a treadmill in the gym. I also do stationary bike and I do rowing. The total session length is, like I said, 35 to 40 minutes, which is 2 hours total. I do compound movements, not isolated movements. I believe that with every exercise, we have to involve more of the body, or as much of the body as possible. And compound movements give us that because they engage more muscle groups rather than less. For the past 10, 12 years, I've been training calisthenics workouts primarily using 3 basic exercises that cover the entire body, which is pull-ups, that's pull, handstand push-ups, that's the push part, which engages pretty much the entire upper body, and some form of squats. Usually for me that was pistol squats. And I would do core exercises as well. And I used to do these in my apartment. Everywhere I lived around the world, I had this bar which was set up in my apartment, so it was really easy to do. I've done this for 10, 12 years, but lately I've been doing this in the gym, and I've been using traditional gym equipment. And honestly, the reason why I moved back to the gym is because I got bored from just pure calisthenics in my home, and I wanted to go back to the gym, and these are my roots. So for the past about 3 years, I've been training in the gym, and it's right here in my building. The reason why I started training in the gym is because I moved to this building and there was a gym available. So that's really honestly what moved me back to the gym. But I'm really happy with how I train right now because I use the traditional gym equipment, compound exercises, primarily free weights, but I also do my calisthenics in the gym. And finally, outside training, for me, that's walking. I love walking. I walk every day, 5, 8, 10,000 steps a day. I don't count them, but that's what it turns out to be. And this honestly is not for training. This is my meditation. All of these things that I listed, if you have any questions around these, drop them in the comments below and I'll go deeper. So in short, what hasn't changed for me in the last 14 years is really the fundamentals. Full body workout every time, compound movements, circuit format, high intensity interval training. I train 3 times per week. My total duration for the week is about 2 hours, and the rest of the week is just rest and walking. So now, here is where most fitness content will stop. Here is my routine. Here's what I do. Go and try it and let me know how it works. But that's not the point of this video. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it's not even a fitness video. I want to give you 3 parts that are really important for me, and it's not the specific training. Here is what's really important. The very first part is that I train the body the way the body was designed to move. So for me, that is full body workout, circuit training every time. I follow the philosophy of whatever I do that's beneficial for me, it has to be around how my body was naturally designed to move. And this also involves compound movements. That's why I don't do isolated movements in the gym. I do compound movements, and calisthenics is all about compound movements anyways. Here's the second big thing for me. Most people over 40 and 50 think that to combat decline, they have to do actually more. And what I know is that it's the opposite. It's not about being in the gym more times per week. It's not about spending more time every time we're in the gym. It's not about adding more volume. It's actually the opposite. It's about giving the right stimulus and then moving out of the way and resting. And in my experience, 2 hours of the right stimulus every week is enough, plenty, and the rest of it is just rest. And here I'm getting to the third and most important point for me. So underneath all of this talk about training and what I do, there is something far more important that I talked in the first and the second video of this series, longevity series, which is my expectation, my belief and my expectation. We talked about this in the previous video about mindset. There is something called predictive processing. In other words, your biology will respond to what you expect. And my expectations are exactly the same like they were when I was 25 and I'm 51 today. Every time I walk into the gym, I don't expect to maintain, I don't expect to decline. I expect to improve, just like I expected when I was 25, 30. I walk into the gym and there is no reason for me not to do more this time, not to try to do more and not to improve. This is exactly the same today. Every time I walk into the gym, I expect to be able to do more, to do better, to improve. And this is not something that I meditate on. This is not something that I tell myself every time and I enchant. This is a part of my belief. This has always been the same for me. I don't know how to explain it, but at 51, I expect to continue to improve and my body responds exactly that way. It improves. So that one last thing I just mentioned matters far more than any specific training routine or anything like that. This one thing. So now that I shared all of this with you, the way the mind usually goes is, oh, okay, I got what I needed. It's 3 times per week, high intensity interval training, every workout, not more than 2 hours per week, compound movements, full body workout, circuit, and so on. I got it. I can go and try this. And you can. But the point is that you might not get the results that I'm getting. And the reason for that wouldn't be in the training. None of these things that I shared today as far as the training and how that goes. The reason for that would be in your expectation. It's the program that you're running, which is what I just mentioned. That's far important than anything else. What program are you running on? This is the real question. Again, predictive processing. If you haven't watched the previous video, go watch it. I'll link here to that video. Your biology, your nervous system will organize your biology to match what you're expecting. So as you can see, the question isn't what exercises should I do? What exercises is Ivan doing? And what exercises should I adopt from Ivan's routine? That's not what it is about. What it is about is just this one thing. Again, it's what have you quietly decided to accept that it's possible for you and for your body. That's the one that's worth sitting with. Next in the series, what I actually eat. And that might surprise you too. So stick around.